This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hello my friends, and welcome to another speed build. Welcome to Foxbury Commons. Now obviously this is in the beautiful world of Brightchester, the world that came with the Sims 4 Discover University expansion pack. And this is a place where your students can come, hang out, study, play, do whatever students do. And I absolutely adored creating this lot. I've missed so much building modern, contemporary looking lots. I haven't done one in quite some time, and this just came to me. The inspiration was there. Don't get me wrong, the inspiration took about 7,000 years to come. But when it did, this build just came together really, really naturally. And I'm going to say it now, it's probably one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. I just love it. It works really well. There's so much for your Sims to do. And I just love the style that it's kind of built in. I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it. And I hope you guys are too. Now, I will go ahead and say what this lot entails. It has got a robotics room for your Sims to come and do all of their technological robotic things that came with the expansion pack. I still haven't had a chance to play around with that properly yet, so I'm not going to make any comment on it because I have no idea about that. My Sim is not actually living in the Foxbury area. So this was the first time I ever came to the area, and I was like, I need to build something modern here. So that's what I went ahead and did. It has also got a big plaza area down in basement level where your Sims can hang out and sit around the benches, study in that area under trees. It has got a gym down at that area too, with a huge changing rooms and shower area too. Up above, it's got some computer rooms, a big playroom where it's like a student hangout. It's got like ping pong tables, arcade machines, etc., etc. I'm going to be saying etc., etc. a lot in this video as well, by the way, friends. You do know how much I love to say a cheeky bit of etc., etc. when every speed build comes out. I get some comments and on my videos saying that. I'm really like aware of it now. It's got a cafeteria. It has got a study room, so a place where your Sims can just come up and sort of study and do their homework, etc., etc. It has got a debate room as well, where your Sims can come and practice all of their debating methods to bring to the world. It has got a rooftop garden area. This was really important to me. I wanted this area to be completely lush and green and just full of plants. And it's also got like a chill out kind of meditation and yoga area. That was really important to me as well, because I know how stressful university life is. So I wanted my Sims to have a place to come, sit in the skylines, away from all of the noise of the world, and meditate, and sort of do some yoga. And that came to me quite naturally. I was like, yeah, that's going to be really cool for this build in itself. And yeah, it was important. What else? Am I missing anything? I might be, but we'll go over it as it gets to it. So you just seen me go ahead and build this big kind of curved bridge using those white kind of architectural pieces. That was really important to me, that kind of that impact that bridge has on this lot. And I was like, oh, it's going to be difficult for the Sims to use this, because I knew that I wanted two kind of access points both at the front, one access point going into like the first floor, and then another access point going into the basement area. So I made sure to mix up what your Sims would need on both of those levels. So your Sims will have to walk across this bridge if they do want to use the kind of areas down below. Architecturally, that doesn't really make sense because it's making your Sims walk across this big, huge bridge just to go down into like the gym and kind of robotics area. But I really wanted the Sims to be able to use that. So in real life, I would have probably made a staircase somewhere along with obviously elevators. I would have had elevators in this lot completely. And I know I could have put an elevator in this lot, but I just decided not to. I decided not to for this one. I may rethink that and, I don't know, put one in at a later point. Probably not, because I do love the way that the Sims use this bridge and walk across it. And it's not just a bridge. It's a hangout area too, because I put benches and all sorts along the actual bridge itself, so your Sims can kind of come up here and hang out, and I loved it. Now you can see I left like a little gap with those architectural pieces. I didn't want the front to have this big kind of like solid looking front, so I made sure to leave like almost like a crack in it that kind of just went horizontally along. And I knew I wanted to litter this place with greenery because of the amount of those architectural pieces I actually put on the front of the build itself. When I went into the inside, they were looking very jail-like. Like your Sims were locked and they were not coming out for the remainder of their university degree. But I decided against I wanted to make it more green. So you'll see what I do in a minute when I actually come to build the actual building itself. I almost do a building inside a building. So main reasons being I wanted lots of greenery to be on the actual build itself. So you'll see. I'll explain. I should have just started explaining that when I was actually doing it, and then I wouldn't be farting all over the show trying to explain something that is not there at this minute. It's not there. Is not there at this minute. Is not there at this minute. Guys, it's early. It's early in the morning and I'm recording this voiceover after my coffee. So not only am I buzzing off of my tits right now on caffeine, I am also very sleepy and cross-eyed. So do excuse me. But I hope you guys have been having fun with this expansion. This is going to shock you. I have been doing gameplay. I know it's shocking. The world has stopped turning on its axis because Aiden is playing The Sims in live mode or live mode, whatever you choose to call it, and actually enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it. And I didn't really realize how important university would be to The Sims 4 until kind of giving your Sim a story and then thinking, oh my God, I want to now follow this Sim off after university and get them a family and blah, 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 and job and see where it goes from there. It's really fun. Really, really fun. There are a few qualms about the expansion that I'm not so pleased with. And maybe I'll go into them at a later date with you guys. But all in all, I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. So you can see the structure is beginning to go up now. I did end up getting rid of that big glass roof that I was putting there. It wasn't fitting in with what I wanted to do. And the lighting is really weird when you try and use the glass roof as a sort of window-esque kind of thing. And what really annoys me with the roofs is that I'd love to be able to get rid of the wall. Do you know what I mean? When you've got a roof, and it's got the wall on the inside, and like I always tend to put kind of archways in there so it kind of lets the like light through. But I wish there was a way where you could just get rid of that wall completely just by removing it, but still keeping the roof there, if you know what I mean. Like, I wish there was a way to do that. I remember, I don't know if it like got fixed in an update many moons ago, where you could like put a fence there instead and it would get rid of the roof wall. Do you get what I mean by that? I just wish that was the thing. That was the thing. But anyway, look, this is me doing the building inside a building, which I was trying to explain earlier, and horribly failing at it. So this is me trying to map out everything. It might look a little bit weird me doing all of this, but what I needed to do was put a wall around a room, kind of 1 square away from it or 2, and then put those architectural pieces up and then remove the wall to kind of leave them there. So it gives this solid effect to the build, makes it, I don't know, I love using these pieces for modern architecture, but then taking the wall away, you can see right through it then. But when I did that, I was like, oh, I need to put a color inside now. So that is what I'm doing now. I put the green one on the inside of the build itself, and when your kind of camera pans past it, the kind of green kind of pops through each little crack in the grey kind of architectural pieces. And I just loved the way that worked. And I'm 100% here for it, my friends. 100% here for it. But yeah, I had so much fun. The one thing that I could have probably done better with this build, there's always room for improvement on everything. I wish that I'd started putting the staircases in kind of when I had the empty shell there so I could map out the areas properly. Because what I did is got so excited, carried on building, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to get some staircases in. So I fit them really snugly around the back where they're kind of in between all of the architectural pieces. How many pissing times am I going to say architectural pieces in this video? Probably about 1,000. But yeah, I put them like kind of behind them, and it hid them very well, and it looks very cool. I used the light up fences and banisters from Get Famous. Yeah, I think they're from Get Famous, and it just looks really cool at night. This building looks really good at night as well, which was very important to me, I must say. But yeah, loved it. So you can see, obviously, while I was blathering on, I started getting in some of the greenery I was calling them in my head when I was doing it kind of plant wells, these kind of wells that just flood the insides of inside of this building with kind of greenery and plant life. And that was important. That was important to me because, as I said earlier, it was looking a little bit jail-like. So once your Sims are inside, and they can sort of see out to the far distances, but the greenery kind of makes up for it. Now, I'm not usually one for putting trees on buildings because I know how trees work and how far the roots go down. So it doesn't really make sense. I know there are buildings out there that have these beautiful trees and stuff on them, but I think it matters at what type of tree goes on to the roof or building itself. So I decided to use the bamboo trees and kind of flood them around the corners so they kind of crept out in between the pieces. And yeah, all in all, very pleased with it. Very pleased with it indeed. Now, you will see me furnish 100% of this build too. I do go through and show you what we do with it. But yes, this is the little Zen garden on the rooftop area where your Sims can come up and treat themselves to a little bit of yoga, a bit of meditation. But I put a couple of picnic benches there as well. So if your Sims just want to get away from it all, come up to a really good view in amongst greenery and do their coursework, then they are free to do so. But yeah, loves it. Absolutely loves it. And it works really well. One thing I had to change in this build is in the study room. I didn't realize that your Sims need a desk to be able to study. I kind of made these sort of bar stool, like countertop study areas, but your Sims do actually need a few desks. So in the beginning, I just got some desks, sized them down really tiny and hid them somewhere. But the Sims weren't using... They were all stood outside and studying for some reason. And then I went ahead and put the desks in. I was like, right, we need to put the desks in for your Sims to be able to come and study. But they were still doing it. They were still kind of standing outside and studying. My Sim, it was usable because my Sim could get there very easily and study and stuff. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if that's a bug or maybe they realized that there wasn't any desks and decided... do you know what? We're just going to stand here and study until you put some bloody desks in, Aiden. But I hope that it's not like that permanently. But you can, if you've got your Sim, you can get your Sim to go and sit down and study inside. There are desks in there. Everything is available for your Sims to live a happy university experience, my loves. So yes. Oh my God, I'm knackered. I feel like I've been talking about 5 years. So as I say, week by week, I will release things when I feel like releasing them. Now, I know I've promised some more Let's Build New Crest episodes, but I just haven't had the time to edit them. Now, I will get one out this week. I will get a part 1 of a Let's Build New Crest. I'm going to edit it as soon as I finish rendering this one. So be on the lookout out for that towards the end of the week. We're going to get that series up and started again and get another house built, my friends. But I've just been inspired to do some speed builds lately, and I'm just going to follow my natural need and go ahead doing what I want to do at the time, you know? I hope that's not selfish of me. I don't mean to be selfish, but sometimes you've just got to follow your heart, you know? Anyway, we're doing the roof area. You can see I put in these 6 skylights. I actually had to get rid of one when it comes to doing the interiors because it was kind of creeping through weirdly into one of the little toilets that I put in at this level. But this is where the cafeteria is housed, underneath of here. And yeah, I had to get rid of one of the skylights, but it doesn't matter too much. It's absolutely fine. So down into the basement levels, you can see I'm pulling up all the windows now. It was hard to try and pick the windows that I wanted to use for this lot. I think I went ahead and used the windows from Get Famous. I think they're from Get Famous, could be wrong. And some windows from Island Living, I think that's the windows that I went for. Tried to use some of the ones from the Discover University expansion, but I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. It was just not for me. So I decided against it. Anyway, this is the plaza area down below in the basement. So I really wanted to get these trees sort of by each of the benches where your Sims could come and chill out again, hang out with some friends, study, and just have a good time. I actually put a little basketball hoop in there as well. Haven't seen one single Sim use it yet, so it's probably not worth it, but it kind of makes sense to me on a university campus having a little area where your Sims can come and treat themselves to a little bit of sportsmanship. I have no idea, as I've said before, I have no idea about sports. None at all, my friends. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this expansion. A few of the things that I'm not keen on, I know people don't mind the rabbit holes when they go into lessons and stuff, but I just find it a bit boring. And then everything's a rabbit hole. Like when you go to watch one of the sports games or one of the esports games or anything like that, it's all a rabbit hole. Like I didn't enjoy that aspect of it. It kind of, you're just sat outside this empty shell of a building waiting for your Sim to come out, and I just found that a bit boring. I would have loved at least like a couple of lessons or the main lesson from your distinguished degree to be kind of playable. I would really have loved to have seen that. Yeah, really would have. I know some people out there like, hell no, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this is the kind of gym sort of shower rooms where your Sim can come and get showered, blah, blah, blah. You know what happens in these rooms. And yeah, it's cool. I haven't seen any Sims use this yet either. It's just like, nope, there's a toilet upstairs. I'm using that. I'm not walking all around that bloody bridge to just have a poo. So, oh God, I don't think one speed build can go by where I say boo. But there we go. Boo. And this is the robotics area. So this is a robotics classroom. Really wanted this to look very sort of science lab-esque. So I used a lot of the metal grating on the floors and concrete brick walls and stuff. This room gets used a whole lot because it is the room that houses the robotics area. So obviously being a Foxbury student, you will come down into this area and use it quite a bit more. And I decided to go ahead and put like a microscope, one of the big, huge microscopes in there as well. Just for the scientific aspect, you know. And a little seating area here. Now, I'm really pissed off that these seats aren't modular. I think they've missed a massive thing there. We need a modular sofa set in The Sims 4. I think that we are lacking in that area. And I think that could have been the perfect style to be a modular sofa because it's very crisp and minimal. And I absolutely love the colorways of it, like the color tones that they've chosen for it. It's refreshing to see that in The Sims and not just the other boring colors that we normally see. Yeah, very happy. Very happy indeed. Now, these two desks actually counted as the desks that I just put in the corner there. They actually counted as it. And I was just like, oh, really? So I had to put in 4 more in this level up here. So this is the room where I put in the bar stools. So this is the study area where, yeah, your Sims can come up and study, obviously. So I had to change this just a little bit. I still left a lot of the tables in there because I really liked the look of this place. But I had to I got rid of 2 of the tables and put in 4 desks instead. But let's just hope the Sims learn to use it and not derp out all over the show. I'd be very happy. Very happy if they used it. But yeah, very, very nice. I did go and choose, as always, all of the wallpapers and flooring before like I actually came to furnishing it. That's the way that my brain works. It takes me ages to think of wallpapers and floors. So I tend to do that off of camera, along with the layout as well. I do tend to do it, I tend to do the layout off of camera. But yes indeed, love the wallpaper. Wallpaper's from the Moschino stuff pack. Didn't think I'd ever make use of it, but it's really fit in well in this build. Really has. Along with the wallpaper that I wasn't keen on in the build and buy review. It's just the plain kind of like, they've got like a stripe band in the middle and they come in all these different colors. No, I've made full use of that wallpaper and I've actually come to like it. Some of the colorways, not keen on, but it's, as I said, for sports halls and commercial lots, it lends itself really well. And this was one of those lots where it did lend itself really well. And this, my friends, is the games room. So the kind of student hangout where they can come and sort of treat themselves to a jukebox, ping pong, whatever. I put in quite a few bits to keep your Sims occupied, even though, once again, your Sims just don't naturally want to come in here. I was in here by myself, playing on the arcade machine and crying because I have no friends. No, yeah, my Sim tend to use it a lot. And when I was playing on the arcade machine, a few other Sims then came and joined me. So maybe it's just got to be that way. But yeah, anyway, this is the cafeteria area. So I did want to go ahead and use like this green to pull a bit more of that green that you can see in the plant wells outside the window. I decided to sort of bring that green into, into the cafeteria, and I love it. I do change these plants. Excuse me. I do change these plants towards the end. I actually go ahead and use the new plant pot that we found and that we got in Discover University, but you'll see that in the video towards the end. But yeah, loved using the Moschino lights as well, those hanging sort of really modern looking lights. Absolutely adored using them. Yeah, I'm here for it. And this is where I kind of remembered that this was the room where skylights are above and I'm hanging lights from them and blah, blah, blah. So I did have to kind of tweak everything and move everything slightly. Like this toilet, for example. This had to change. Well, it didn't have to change. The skylight had to change above it. But I'm really sad because I love the way that the light's filtering through above the sink there. But it just wasn't working. You can see I'm like, oh God. I can see that. And I actually do that off of camera. I was just like, oh God, what's going on there? But yeah, this is the computer room, my friends. So very similar to the layout sort of downstairs with the study area, but this room gets used a whole lot. The Sims come up here very, very, very much indeed, and you can just see them playing around and writing their essays and stuff. And yeah, very nice. Again, bringing the outside in, even though it's very minimal and clean and kind of modern and futuristic on the inside, I still wanted to lend itself to nature. So I did pull in a lot of green from the outside of the place. Didn't know where I was going with that then, but we got there in the end. We got there in the end. Now this is the debate hall. So I wanted this is like nearly at the top. So you can see how green this is on the inside. I wanted to flood this place with the most plants because it does have 2 layers of the architectural pieces on the outside. So you can just see it. Excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat. You can just see it's kind of, I don't know. It feels really outside, even though it's kind of locked in, you know? I'm 100% here for it. I really am. I need to start some merch, don't I really? Because we need some I'm here for it tops going on. And this obviously is the little Zen roof garden. Quite simple, but a big impact. But anyway, my darlings, thank you so much for watching this speed build. Leave me some lovely comments in the comment box below. And I will see you towards the end of this week for my new Let's Build Newcrest part. Goodbye, my darlings.
Anywhere you want it, this is the